At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The following audio contains the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optavia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join Optavia, but please note they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optavia. Additionally, this audio may contain income or earning representations of some independent Optavia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optavia is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optavia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optavia coaches in the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optavia coaches operating in the US, please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of US coaches under the US Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optavia coaches operating in the US under the US Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in Health, the Optavia team.
Well, welcome to our inspiring stories of transformation. I'm so delighted that you've joined us. My name is Shirley Mast. I'm an independent certified Optavia coach. And my own introduction to Optavia began quite some time ago. It began really for me as a journey to save my own health. When I started the program, I weighed close to 400 pounds. So you can imagine the desperate health that I was in. But it didn't take me long in the program, about maybe about 2 weeks into the program, I started to realize, wow, I was feeling significantly better. I was losing weight faster than I thought was possible. And I was just really feeling great. 2 weeks into the program, I knew I was going to coach sometime. I wasn't sure when, but I knew I was going to coach sometime because this worked. Why would I not share that with someone? So several months later, I was not anywhere close to my healthy goal, but I was ready to pay it forward. And I'll tell you guys, if I would do anything differently, it would be to have started coaching sooner. I thought I needed to have more success on number, completed. Really didn't matter. I just needed, all you need is just to be ready to help people. And so several months later, I started coaching, and word of mouth is pretty powerful. People figured, well, if Shirley Mast can get healthy, so could they. And so our business grew pretty quickly. Now, my husband was very supportive. He came to every training event. He thought that what I was doing was awesome. He never intended to coach, but he was incredibly supportive of what I was doing. He thought it was great. But it was at our first convention after I'd been coaching for about 5 months or so. We went to our first national convention, and it was there that I saw the bigger picture. And we realized that if we were to grow our business more, we would have more capability to help more people. Now, my husband was in a job that he loved. He was in a specialty area. His employer he was the only one at his job that did what he did. So they loved him and he loved them. And so, like I said, he never really intended to coach. But when we started to realize Optavia could give us the freedom to be able to build our lives around the things that truly mattered most to us, it became a no-brainer for us to build the business to the level that we felt comfortable having him quit his job. So he quit his job about 2 years later, back in January of 13. The two of us have been working together in the business. And yes, Cliff Mast is coaching. He does a better job some days than I do and is doing a beautiful job. And we love the fact that we can work together. I get to get up every morning and go to work with my best friend, with us both working on a mission that's very important to us. It also gives us the flexibility to be able to invest time into our grandchildren, invest our time and resources into organizations and causes that are very important to us. But it also allows us to really make a difference in a lot of people's lives. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. So if you think I'm a little passionate about Optavia and what it's done for the people in my life, you'd be absolutely right about that. And here's why. I mean, the thing is, the need is great. Worldwide, statistically, obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. In fact, and this statistic was a little startling to me, most of the world's population live in countries where overweight and obesity kills more people than underweight does. That was a little jarring for me. Here in America, when you start thinking about stress and mental health, almost a third of adults with partners report that money is a major source of conflict in their relationship. And it's possible that that's true for you or for some people that you love. 69% of workers were stressed over their finances, fully 72% admitting to worrying about their personal finances at work. In July 2020, rates of depression and anxiety in the US were more than triple than those in early 2019. And you all have seen that in the lives of the people around you. Stress levels and financial concerns are at a high level for a lot of the people that you know. But before we go further and into talking more about what's involved with Optavia, I'd love to have you have an opportunity to hear another story. Chris is a coach on our team. She's just been working with us for a short time, but she's already discovered a lot of things about Optavia that are really lining up with the things that are important to her. So Chris, I'd love to have you share a little bit more of your story.
Thanks so much, Shirley. It really is an honor to be with you and share my story tonight. The background on my own health journey is that essentially I was a professional yo-yo dieter. And then I found Optavia and I went on to lose about 50 pounds. During my time as a client, my coach asked me to explore coaching at least 5 times. And I just kept saying, no, I'm good. And I kept referring my family and friends to her. Then in the summer of 2020, just this past June, my parents were in a car accident and both were hospitalized. And about 2 weeks later, we lost Dad. 4 weeks after that, I learned that my job as a hospital administrator was eliminated. So within just 4 short weeks, I lost my dad, who is my first and my greatest mentor. And I also lost my job. So several weeks later, I was talking with my coach and relaying to her the series of events that had occurred. And she asked me one more time if I wanted to be a coach. And I'm so glad that she did, because you see, coaching was on my heart, but I wasn't yet brave enough to ask the question. So we did a Coach Explore and I ordered my kit and I started reaching out to folks right away and started building my business within about 2 months. I continued to lean in on my mentors, attend all the training that I could, and I just stayed in action and continued to do the work. And within about 4 months, reached the level of executive director, which essentially means I'm supporting about 17 to 20 clients. What is it that I love about coaching? Well, as a hospital administrator, one of the things that was close to my heart and my biggest passion was coaching and mentoring staff and other leaders. And you see, with health coaching, I still get to do that and continue to build on that skill set. So I'm so grateful for that. Secondly, I love the coach community. Everybody is so supportive and welcoming. Nobody holds their cards close to their vest. They're not afraid that you're going to steal their idea. They just share openly, are very supportive. So thank you all for that. Third, and quite frankly, one of the side benefits of being a coach is it helps me to stay true to my own health journey at a time when I could have easily returned to my old habits. During this time, I've really spent a lot of time pouring into my life book. And you know, I've come to understand that the events of the last several months happened for me and not to me. Coaching, along with my life book, has helped me to gain clarity about what it is that I want in my professional life that I have never had before. And really, it's simple. There are 3 things. Number 1, I want to make a meaningful contribution to others. Number 2, I want to have ongoing growth and development for myself. And third, I just want work-life balance. That's it. And guess what I've learned? Coaching meets all 3 of those criteria. It checks all the boxes. And when I say that, I don't mean that it just checks the bottom of the box. It checks the whole box. How many people can say, that is true about the job that they go to every day. So, this really is such an amazing opportunity. It is such a privilege to be a coach because the folks who I reach out to and that I work with open up their heart to me. They trust and have confidence in me. They share their concerns, their health history, their worries, and their dreams and their goals. And I get to walk alongside of them and help them to celebrate that. So it really is such a privilege to be a coach. So yes, I am absolutely just thrilled that my coach asked me that question one more time. Thank you.
Oh, Chris, thank you. And for those of you that are coaches and you've been talking to other people about coaching and they've just been saying no and no, and you might have a Chris on your hands. So maybe you just need to ask a few more times. Chris, thanks so much for sharing today, because your enthusiasm is absolutely contagious. I was pretty fired up about coaching before, but now I'm more fired up because it really is, for so many people, this really does give them the opportunity to find that level of being able to really make a contribution while it also is meeting their own goals. So before I go into the details of our transformational program, I'd like to give you a little background on who we are. You might be saying to yourself, well, who is Optavia? Well, let me tell you, we're a company that's committed to providing solutions for creating optimal health. We have over 30,000 independent Optavia coaches and healthcare professionals. Our co-founder and independent Optavia coach is Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. He's a New York Times bestselling author. He's a physician who was one of the 10th top board certified critical care physicians in the country and helped to pioneer the subspecialty of critical care. And for me as a registered nurse, that really touched my heart, that this physician would choose to leave a very successful practice in order to create and help co-found an organization that helps people to create health. Our mission with Optavia is to offer to the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. Now, Medifast is our parent company. We have clinically proven plans and products that were developed by physicians and dietitians and scientists and have been used by more than 1.5 million clients and recommended by thousands of healthcare providers. In fact, in my own case, it was my own physician who said to me, I think you ought to try this program. I think it's going to work well for you. And I've been forever grateful to him for that. We are an American company. We own our own research and development, manufacturing, and warehousing facilities. We've got strong corporate and field leadership. We are a New York Stock Exchange company, financially solid, US-based, with over 1.5 million lives impacted so far. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, okay, so how exactly does the program work? Well, there are 4 components of our system. And keep in mind that our goal is lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. So when you want to have lifelong transformation, these 4 components are going to be very important in equal parts. First of all, you'll be working with an independent Optavia coach whose services are free to you. They're providing one-on-one support as you walk your health journey and reach your goals. But the thing that's beautiful about this for me is it's been a long time since I lost my weight. And I'm still hearing from my coach on a regular basis. It's a fantastic support system and providing the resources that I need in order to stay strong on my own health journey. Our second component is our Habits of Health transformational system. The life book, Dr. A's Habits of Health, is teaching each of our clients how to create healthy habits in many areas of life, not just in healthy eating, not just in reaching a healthy weight, although we're pretty good at that, but also perhaps maybe helping them develop better sleep habits, maybe better activities of healthy motion, learning how to respond to stress better, and so on. Our Optavia community is awesome. And you will find that as you walk through this journey to health, people are going to notice that your health is transforming. They're likely to ask you, what is it that you're doing? So it could be that they come and join you on this journey, or perhaps you and your coach talk about whether or not it's appropriate for you to coach them. You're going to find, though, that the more community you build around yourself, the more successful you'll be. We have webinars like this one. Most of our coaches and clients have Facebook groups, some private Facebook groups for their clients to be able to participate, and lots of other great ways to connect. And then there is last but definitely not least, our, I lost my slide, our scientifically designed fuelings. So you've got a lot of different nutritional options that are designed to give you the healthy nutrition you need. If you're looking for weight loss, it will help you lose weight safely and effectively, but also help you create the nutrition that you need to reach the goals that you want. Now, coaching offers a combination approach of one-on-one team and community support, like we just mentioned, for clients, providing guidance and encouragement. The coach focuses on the client's values and needs, visions and goals in three principal areas. We talk about it being the trilogy of optimal health and well-being. So we talk about that being healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. All three of those go together to help you create the optimal health that you're looking for. And so our community of coaches is striving not only to improve areas of their lives, but also to improve the lives of all the people that they connect with. And that's what I love about this. Chris made a mention to that as well. I'm not only improving my health, I get to help other people improve their health, but in the process of helping them improve their health, it helps me too. It's just a beautiful thing. So you might be asking yourself, well, what other benefits would be involved here? I'm so glad you asked. Chris made a reference to this, and it was absolutely one of the reasons why I wanted to coach. It reinforces your decision to be healthy. Frankly, when I started coaching, I knew my weight was going to all come off, but I wasn't sure yet how it was going to stay off. So it seemed to make sense to me that if I was coaching and I was immersed in this community, it seemed to make logical sense to me that maybe that would be the way to go to help ensure my own health goals. It also gives you an opportunity to pay it forward, to make a difference. It's fun. It's rewarding. If it seemed like Chris and I were having a good time tonight, that's because we are. I love what I get to do. And then there's compensation. Of course, you have the currency of goodwill. When you have someone come to you and say, "You've changed my life," or "Thank you, I couldn't have done it without you," that is incredibly gratifying. But there's financial compensation as well. There's no cap to your income. Your earnings are based on your efforts. And so this may give you the opportunity to fulfill your own financial needs. And I'm getting ahead of myself in my slides. And it may give you a chance to fulfill your own financial needs and goals, and also an opportunity to leave a legacy. Honestly, for me personally, my goal is to use the time that I have left on this earth to serve as many people as I can. And I can't think of a better way to do it than as an Optavia coach, where I really have the capacity to be able to touch more lives than I thought were possible. So you might be asking, well, tell me a little bit more about how this works. Well, we have a progressive growth model with Optavia. Optavia coaches move through three competencies. You learn one competency, and then if you choose, you can move on to the next one. So you would begin first as an Optavia coach. Coaches acquire and support clients. Then if you choose, you can move on to become an Optavia business coach. So a business coach, in addition to acquiring and supporting clients, a business coach is going to acquire and work with coaches and teach them how to be successful. And that has been one of the things that I have thoroughly enjoyed in this journey as we support a team, is that interaction with people as they personally develop and grow as coaches. And then a business leader will work with clients and build teams of coaches and business coaches. And I found that to be my favorite part of all, where we get to work together with this like-minded community, helping people reach their goals. So your degree of compensation will follow these skill sets and your level of activity. Now, I have another story for you. And you know how I had said, Chris has just been with our team for a short period of time. Our next person who's going to be sharing his story has been working with Cliff and I since almost the very beginning. So we've had the opportunity to see him develop in a phenomenal way into leadership. Matt, come share a little bit more of your story with us.
Thanks so much, Shirley. I am so honored to be here tonight to share my story with you. And I love that tonight we are talking about element 4. And according to the chat, a lot of you are pretty pumped about element 4, team element 4, right? It's probably been one of the most transformative elements for me in my journey, especially learning how to take action by developing that growth mindset. Because when I started my journey, I was very close to the idea of all of this, as in I did not want to do this. My wife had discovered the program. A friend of hers had shared it with her, and we had struggled for about 20 years to get healthy. And I was supportive of her. I said, you go do it. I want nothing to do with it. Well, about a week in, she got into a good fat burn. She was plugging into habits of health. She was plugging into the community. She was just showing up with this energy, with this like confidence and resolve that I had never seen in her before. And I thought, you know what, there's something different about this. And I was just kind of like, all right, I'm a little curious now. I'm just going to try it. So I got on program, and we went on to lose about 150 pounds that year together. And the physical transformation was just phenomenal in my life. But what I really needed next was the healthy mind component of this program. I had my own company at the time. I had worked really hard to build this company. And it was starting to take a toll on me. The stress of that job, I was working about 60, 70 hours a week. But what was happening was, as we were changing, physically changing, a lot of people were just asking us, what are you doing? You can't hide results with Optavia. And I just referred everybody, my family, my church family, my neighbors. Every time somebody asked, I just sent them to my coach, Shirley. And every time I did that, Shirley was like, Matt, you have the opportunity to coach them yourself. They know you, they trust you. You're doing great on program. Would you consider coaching? And I was just definitely below the line. I was in that closed, arms crossed, because I wanted to be right about my decision that I had made to build this company. But it didn't take long until that really started to weigh on me. The stress of that job, it was starting to affect my relationship with my kids, with my wife, my depression. And I remember Shirley had invited me to an event. It was a live event with Dr. A. You guys remember live events? It was like crazy times we used to live in. But something happened at that event. I was awakened, and I just started asking myself two questions that I'd never considered before. And those questions were, what if? What if coaching could be a vehicle for me to get out of this crazy job? What if coaching allowed me to change my lifestyle so that I was just more relaxed and I had more time with my family? And then I started to ask myself, why not me? And I made the decision that I was going to be open and curious about this. I was going to uncross my arms and open up. And the thing that happens, guys, when you get open and curious, you create space to bring something new in your life. And I am so thankful that I had a mentor that was persistent with me. She saw the potential, and she just kept asking in a gentle way. And it absolutely has changed my life. Fast forward, I've been a full-time coach now since 2013. My wife and I, we lead an organization that has helped so many people experience this same transformation, guys. This job is nothing but blessing after blessing after blessing. And the thing that I've loved about this is that all of the support, all of the resources that I had on my personal health journey as a client has just continued and probably even magnified as a coach, because I am surrounded by people who are actively pursuing the best version of themselves every single day. And really, I thought I was coming into this just to fit into my high school pants. And what I got, guys, was a whole new life. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you, Shirley, for giving me the chance to share my story tonight.
Well, Matt, thanks for being willing to be on to share. It's just been an honor for Cliff and I to have the opportunity to work with you and Audrey, and to watch you develop into leadership as you support your coaches and your clients and your team. I love what he said, that, just ask that question, what if? Well, what if I tried this? And some of you maybe need to ask that question tonight. Maybe you process that with whoever invited you onto this call, and just kind of explore what your options are. We'll discuss just a little bit more about what's involved with coaching, give you just a little more information that might make it helpful for you as you keep processing what you'd like to do. So you might be thinking, well, how does it work for coaches? How does this whole process work? Well, we work on a relational model. In Optavia, people come first. This is about people helping other people. So if you like helping people, This might be for you. And when you help someone else, that's really good for your overall well-being. As a coach, I'm self-employed, I'm independent. You can do this as a full-time or a part-time opportunity. We have coaches on our team for whom this is a full-time job for them, like it is for Matt. We have others that are just doing this as a part-time job, just for a little bit of extra income for themselves or their families. There's low startup costs, there's low operating costs, and there is no inventory, which is wonderful as far as I'm concerned. You get the opportunity to work from anywhere. In fact, I have. This weekend, our family's going away for a bit. We're going to still be able to get connected with the team if we need to. We've had times that we've been on vacation and we can just check in briefly with the team. Cliff and I have taken trips to West Africa, and I can text the team from West Africa if I need to. So that flexibility in being able to work from anywhere. Now, as a grandmother, the other thing I can do is be babysitting my grandkids and also answer a quick call or answer a question for someone on the team. So that flexibility has been invaluable for Cliff and me. It's a flexible business for busy people. And it also allows me to be able to build my life around the things that matter most to me. We talk often about the fact that our hours are not optional as coaches. We do need to put the time in, but they are very flexible, and that's incredibly valuable to me. We also will do complete training and support for you. There's no quotas or monthly purchases required. And as you get started as a coach, you will be getting the training as on-the-job training to be able to build your skills. So your support as you move forward will include things like our comprehensive training system. You'll have the opportunity to learn as you earn. So for instance, for me, I am a registered nurse formerly, and I needed to build my skill set first before I could work. Here we find the most effective way for a coach to train is on-the-job training as they are working with their business coach and mentorship team. So you're working hand in hand with your mentor as you're learning the skills and actually helping people to improve their health. We employ team coaching, so you can apprentice as you grow, and you can work at your own pace. Some of you will start coaching and you'll want to grow very quickly. Others will want to move more slowly. That's fine. Both of those options are fine. As a business mentor, my priority is to match my pace to what you want to accomplish. We have optional local, regional, and national training events. There was a time we used to be able to do those in person. We're hoping there's a time we'll be able to do that again. But in the meantime, the company has taken the training all online and has come out with some really amazing training opportunities that are available to all of our coaches. And it's just been a phenomenal way for me personally and also for our team to build their skills. So if this is sounding intriguing to you, maybe you came onto this call to find out how could Optavia help your own personal health. Maybe you want to get yourself reconnected with whoever invited you onto the call and say, yep, I'm ready to move forward in my health. Maybe you came onto this call thinking, I wonder if this business opportunity might be something that I'd be interested in. Or like Matt said, what if this could work for me? My suggestion to you will be the same. Get reconnected with whoever it was that invited you onto the call and say, let's explore this a little more. Let's see if this might be something that would be a good fit for you. Because if this is something that's a good fit for you, we would welcome you. Come join our Optavia mission, lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. We love it. We think you just might love it too. Thanks for joining us tonight.
At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The prior audio contained the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optavia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope those stories inspire you to continue your journey with or to consider joining Optavia. But please note that they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optavia. Additionally, this audio may have contained income or earning representations of some independent Optavia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optavia is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optavia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optavia coaches in the U.S., Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optavia coaches operating in the U.S., please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of U.S. coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optavia coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in health, the Optavia team.